like to welcome Twee and Daniel. Joyce and Tom. Sophia and Kevin. And of course, John and Alice.
The whole idea of actually having people in the video because we can edit.
I get to be dashing, I get to be charming, I get to be sexy in front of a whole group of people. You know, it really sets the tone for this evening on how I speak and where we head from here. But then I thought, no, I'll just be myself really for the whole night. So it's tonight to announce our first speaker tonight, Julie Barrington.
Yes, I have a great pleasure of being John's mother and of being here and speaking to you tonight. Thank you very much for coming. It's lovely to see you all today. And a special thank you for family and friends who've travelled from overseas and interstate to join us. And of course, especially to Alice's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Huang. A few months ago, I visited Alice's parents in Taiwan, and I experienced their very generous hospitality. I was so pleased to be able to spend some time with them and have that opportunity for our families to go closer in understanding and respect. Congratulations, TC and Lisa, for raising such a beautiful daughter. And thank you for supporting this wedding celebration for Alice and John and the joining of our families. I would like to propose a special toast to TC and Lisa. Will you please raise your glasses? TC and Lisa. And now about John. John, your dad and I were always very proud of you. We always said that you and Claire were our greatest achievements. If your dad was still here today, he would be bursting with pride and happiness, just as I am now. John was just 2 years old when his dad first became very sick. And even as a tiny boy, John was loving and caring and did lots of things to help his dad and me and his little sister Claire. Perhaps because of these extra responsibilities, John sometimes seemed more thoughtful, serious and grown up in his manner than many of the children his age. Even so, John had a great sense of humour, was creative, and he used to get up to plenty of mischief. In primary school, he and his friends spent many hours digging a fort in the backyard, playing pirate ships and dead gum trees, and building a raft for the neighbour's dam. John never got into a fight that I knew of, except sometimes over the remote control with his sister Claire. He was kind to small children, and he adored our family dog, Ben. Every tree John planted grew strong and tall, and his friendships have been firm and enduring. John, you've always been generous, thoughtful, caring, sensitive, loyal and wise, and we love you very much. It makes Claire and me very happy that you have found your life partner in Alice. Before I met Alice, John told me he thought I'd like her. I knew she was special and I felt a bit nervous about our first meeting. But when Alice walked in the door for the first time, her beautiful warm smile lit up the room, and I knew that everything was going to be all right. Since then, I've come to know Alice as thoughtful, sensitive, caring, compassionate, honest, and thoroughly delightful. Alice, we love you. I'm very proud to have you as a daughter and Claire as a sister, and we welcome you into our family. John and Alice, you both have all the qualities needed to make a successful marriage. Cherish each other always. Life can sometimes be very difficult, but it can also be very beautiful. This is one of the beautiful times. Good family and friends, please lift your glasses again to join me in wishing John and Alice joy on this special day and for a long and happy married life together.
Judy, John, honor guest. Sorry, I'm drinking too much. I forget my speech. Don't worry. Today, we are getting here for my daughter Elise and John wedding. I'm happy too much. I'm really, really happy. They are such a perfect couple. It's true? Yeah. I wish them a life happily ever after. John, so John, welcome to the Huang's family. You are now half Taiwanese. Please always protect and make Alice happy every day. Because her the happiness and yours is mine. That is the word. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, promise me. John, promise me. Answer me. Promise me. Is it okay?
Yes, okay.
I can't hurt you.
Yes.
Yes? You sure? 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 Sure! Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll enjoy main course now, and I'll chat to you guys after main course.
Yeah, sure. Can you stretch 4 of us? Yeah. Oh, do you want to say something?
Congratulations, Alice and John.
Hey everybody. Notes. I'm Dan. This is Tom. I am the best man, John. But I'm going to do a little bit of iron speech. Just take some of the pressure off me. So I suppose John and Tom and I go way back. It's about 18 years. We went to high school together. Kevin came on board a few years, not too long after that. Yeah, I suppose Johnny asked me to be the best man. I was flattered. A little bit surprised because I'm not the most organised sort of fellow. Tom said I should say I couldn't organise a piece up in a brewery. But I'm pretty sure that's something I could organise. Anyway, so I was a bit surprised. But Johnny's been great. He's pretty much taken care of everything. Obviously the suits, like he ironed my shirt. I did try and tie his tie, but it didn't work. So pretty much all I had to do, Johnny's like, only thing you have to do is organise the bucks. That's it. That's it. The date's going to be finalised soon. But sometime this year, for sure. I've already sent it. It actually hasn't taken place, but with John's track record with booze, it's probably best to do it after the wedding. So I've got to say a few thank yous, especially to John and Alice for having everyone here. Maybe I'll thank you on everyone's behalf because everyone's not going to get happy with this. It's fantastic. It was beautiful. Wine's beautiful, food, water. and they're not matching, and there's no, what's that funny fabric called that was big in the 80s? Chiffon, no chiffon. I'd like to thank the parents of John and Alice. So, TC and Liza, thank you very much. Great speech. Julie, fantastic speech. I teared up a bit. I'd like to thank Phil, Alice's brother. Where is he? There he is. Good job in the scene. And I think we're going to hand you over to Tom.
Okay. So, Dan and I will say a few words about John first. For those who don't know John, John's been preparing for this moment for, I think, since he was born. Certainly the last 18 years of his life. Knowing the seriousness, as kids, we were all hopeless romantics. John and I used to share many hours talking about love, future marriage, kids, and what it would be like. But out of all of the group, John was certainly the most in love with being in love. And no, that's true. and he has been to great lengths to find, in his quest to find his soulmate. He's travelled the world, he's learned languages, and as I think everyone knows here, he's relaxed his attitude on dressing pets all the time. In seriousness, seeing John and Alice today, I can say that John has found his true soulmate, and he's now complete.
I'm going to do two more changes. Other than being a hopeless romantic, John has many other good qualities. I'm going to mention a few of those. John's been a truly great friend to me over the years. I mean, really. He's incredibly loyal. He's been very supportive to me and all of his mates. He's not judgmental. He's just dependable. He's fantastic, and he's always there. He's got a real interest in his friends and family and family friends indeed. I mean, John and Julie have on probably the last 3, 4 or 5 Christmases been at my parents' house, just in the afternoon after Christmas lunch. And John being dependable, it's actually, you can always depend on John to drink my dad's single malt on Christmas. Not as bad as Simon, but anyway. So Johnny does have a taste for single malt. Also for the finer things in life. Good food, like tonight, wine was fantastic. He's always well dressed. The ties we're wearing tonight, Tony said, he was buying the ties, he looked at 500 ties or something. And settled on these ones, and I said, oh, they must be great. He said, yeah, they're LV. I'm like, oh, fantastic, it's great. And then I went straight home and asked my girlfriend what LV was. It's like Louis Vuitton. I'm like, they are nice. She's got many of those good qualities, of course, translate into a very happy marriage. And I suppose in keeping with the theme of the finer things in life, it was very, very well put. I was very happy for both of them. And I'm going to hand you back.
So, John and Alice, now it's time for some marriage advice. Being married and having 3 boys under 5, I consider myself slightly qualified to deliver some advice. In thinking about in thinking about this, I thought that I would give you the same advice that my mother-in-law, who's Spanish, gave to me on my wedding day And in fact, on every time I see her, since that day, I'll say first in Spanish and then I'll translate. She said to me, Tom, tienes que tener paciencia, paciencia, which means you've got to have patience. Patience. And it's very true. But 40 years on, she's happily married. And I mean, everyone who's been married knows that love has 4 seasons. There are sunny days and there are also cloudy days. But something that I hope you'll remember on this day is that it gets that. Sorry, I missed my line here. I can't read it. But it never gets better. It always gets better from here. This is the starting of a fantastic. Alice, I wanted to say to you that you hit the jackpot with John. The fact that you've looked beyond the fact he's a lawyer and a qualified accountant and seen him for his inner beauty is really special. And we thank you for that. And Johnny, well, what we can say, you've hit the jackpot too. I think you know. So, Dan to finish off.
This will be brief. I'll give it a drink. So, guys, thank you so much, and we wish you many, many years of happy marriage. So all I'm going to do is toast these two. So if you can all raise your glasses, and to John and Alice. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce the marathon runner with the calf of steel. Toy, thank you.
Thank you, Philip. It's a hard act to follow in Dan and Tom's footsteps, but I'll do my best. So, my name is Tweedy, and I've known Alice now for 15 years, and as was alluded in the ceremony, we met during university. My first impressions of Alice was that of a strong-minded, unique individual, and that still holds true today. So, for those that know Alice, she's a person that has a great appreciation, good food, and fine wine. However, this was an unfortunate situation when the person in question hates cooking. Moreover, Alice was into convening, so her freezer used to be filled to capacity with all sorts of frozen, pre-prepared food that I had no idea you could get in Australia. Then along came John, who was able to woo Alice through his culinary skills and use of fresh ingredients. And look at where they are now. She's living it up at home with home-cooked meals prepared nightly using fresh herbs, which they grow out on the balcony. So I guess by now, John has figured out that the way to Alice's heart is definitely through her stomach. Another thing about Alice is that she loves her bed. I have never met a person that spends as much time in bed as Alice does. She somehow is able to eat, drink, sleep, watch TV and work all the while in bed. Every time I called her, she was doing something in bed. And it still amazes me that she has not developed the deep vein thrombosis already. However, so nowadays, John manages to entice her out of bed with the promise of home-cooked meals, and even gets her to exercise, riding the push bike out to eat at a nice cafe somewhere. Finally, I could not talk about Alice without bringing up Leo, who is her loyal companion and has been with her for as long as I can remember. Fortunately for Alice, Leo has a very patient and tolerant temperament during the many times he's been smuggled into buildings that are not pet friendly, or when he has had his hair crimped, or when he has been dressed up in outrageous doggy outfits. John himself has been the recipient of curious looks from strangers when they observe him walking in these, Leo in these outfits. And so, since Leo is no longer the only male companion in her life, Alice now spends more time out of bed, eats more home-cooked meals, and even exercises on occasion, which in itself is an amazing feat, which is all thanks to John. So, I would like to make a toast to Alice and John. May they have a long life together, filled with happiness, many wonderful memories, and lots of good food and wine.
Thank you, Tweety. Okay, so there's only one speech left. It gives me great pleasure to introduce myself, to speak on my sister's behalf. First, I'd like to thank the staff here at the Stoke House. They've been amazing tonight. The food's been very good, the wine's been amazing. I think, just to reiterate the point, I know Alice and John have gone to a lot of effort for tonight, and I think you can see just by looking around at the decorations how beautiful everything is. So I'm meant to speak, I googled this, I'm meant to speak on my sister and what I remember about her. And just something quick, I guess. When I look back to childhood memories, my first memory I remember was of my sister. When we were playing at the house, this was back in Taiwan, and she said to me, jump on my shoulders. And, you know, I was 3 or tiny, and I said, sure. And I ran up off the table, and I remember jumping and thinking, wow, this is great. But then my sister moved out of the way. And I remember landing on my head. I mean, it's affected me since, and it's made me this way. But I think about that because she taught me probably the most important lesson in life, which is trust nobody. No. When I look at my sister, it makes me realise how much more depth there is to anyone who has a sister or a brother in this room. We're not just related. There's a lineage, there's a bloodline amongst us that our parents have bred into us. There's this level of trust. We share our most profound joys in life. You know, our deepest sorrow. There's no joke coming at the end of this, so you guys know. It's really just one of those things where you look back over all the times you spent with her and how much it means and how important tonight is seeing John. And I guess that moves on to meeting John as part of the family. I got a call about him about 18 months ago now, I guess. My mum, who many of you would have had the pleasure of meeting tonight, I love my mum, who's the centre of all gossip, calls me up, middle of the night, goes, I'm really worried, Alice is seeing a boy. And there's this awkward pause, and she's like, oh, he looks like Timothy Dalton from James Bond. Something's going on. He's a lawyer. It's all suspect. So me and my lovely fiancée sitting there, we flew down to Melbourne to meet this guy John, and I thought he looked like Zach Braff from Scrubs, which no one really. Some of you might not know, but I remember meeting him in this restaurant out in the middle of nowhere in Melbourne, and I sat him down and I just ran him through the rungs. What do you want with my sister? Have you slept with her? Like, just really intense stuff. Like I said, I was dropped in the head when I was young, and this is what happens. But it just amazed me because most guys would be put off by that. Most guys are flustered. But John responded in an amazing way. You know, and I knew then that this is a guy I'd be proud to call my brother. He passed. He hadn't slept with him yet, so that was good for me. I knew he was going to be a good guy. So I'll finish off by saying that I'd like to personally welcome John to our family. I know my dad was saying promise to look after her, but I know he's going to look after her. I know he will treat her with as much love and respect as we have for the last 30 years or so. And I'd like everyone to raise their glasses for a final toast from the speeches from this point of view. And I just wrote a little quote here because that's what Google told me to do. And the quote is that happy marriages spring from marrying the ones we love, but they really only come to fruition when we love the ones we marry. I don't really get it, but it's sort of deep. So, Alice and John, they've been very good to me in the last years. Thanks. And now I invite Alice and John to come over and cut the cake.
Hey, we're here. We're doing it. I think you look like Timothy Goldberg.
Trying to work out where he is.
Almost there.
Oh, is that booze in there?
Kiss the nearest girl.
Okay,
Another. Give us a kiss. Yeah. Now we're game. Now we're game.
I'm just going to hand it over to John. Everyone's written their speech on the same Crown Casino papers.
I think most things have already been said. Like, I really want to thank everyone for coming. Alice and I had, when we first got engaged, we briefly flirted with the idea of a very, very, very small wedding and reception, and I'm very glad that we chose to go this way, and just so good to see everyone here, and I'm very amazed. Again, a big thank you to Alice's parents, TC and Liza. I've had 2 trips to Taiwan so far, both times. Incredible hospitality, and yes, the first time took a little while to get into, and they did decide, their friends wanted to make sure that I would be okay with Alice if I was drunk, if I was not a violent drunk, and they succeeded very well in getting me drunk. There's a table of 21 people in Taipei 101, and we were toasting with a very nice whiskey, a single malt. Everyone else decided that you water it down. I was thinking it's a very nice single malt, you cannot do that to it. So a few drops, and then toasting everyone at the table. Anyway, it was, I don't remember the rest of the night. I assume it turned out very well. But Alice saw I wasn't a violent drunk. Maybe just a bit messy, but... it's also been made very clear to me that in marrying Alice, the family comes along with it, the whole extended family. The family, obviously immediate family, they're here today, it's amazing. It's Chinese New Year on Monday, which makes it very difficult for others to come around, and also should thank TC and Liza in particular for coming out. I know it's the busiest time of year for you guys, and it's a flying visit, but it's so good to have you here in Melbourne. And I'm really looking forward to becoming part of such a close family, and also to becoming part of the Chinese New Year's celebrations, which are on Monday, so a late night flight tomorrow night. Thank you very much to my best man and groomsmen, Daniel, Tom and Kevin, for supporting me through the lead up to today, and making sure I got here, and also making sure I didn't partake too much in the pre-ceremony refreshments. So thank you, Daniel, very much for organising them. They were very nice. And also a big thank you to Daniel for helping me select the wines tonight. I'm sure everyone will agree that he did well in those selections. Thank you, Mum, for everything you've done, going back to the beginning and to now. Thanks also for your help leading up to today, especially for the flowers, which you helped us to a large extent organise. They're incredibly beautiful. I walked in today before everyone got here and was just blown away with how bright and colourful and amazing they were. Thank you also for, as Tui mentioned, for teaching me how to cook and appreciate food. And yes, I'm sure none of us would be here today if I wasn't able to provide for Alice in the early days of the relationship with some, as Tui said, some home cooking with some fresh ingredients, not from the freezer. We occasionally use frozen vegetables, but not that often. Definitely. Thank you very much to my sister Claire, for again being there through the years, for her assistance with the logistics for today, and also for wrapping up those beautiful torches that are pioneering. Apparently she's the one to go to if you want anything rectangular wrap. So, they're brilliant. Of course, the biggest thank you is to Alice for showing up, agreeing to marry me, for being who you are. I don't know what I've done to deserve Alice. I figure best not to question, just go with it. Alice, beautiful in every way, kind and caring, just amazingly intelligent. I mean, just lately, all the work you've been doing, setting up a clinic from scratch, it's been very impressive, and I consider myself incredibly fortunate. And I just love being around you and look forward to doing that for the rest of my life. So, thank you, Alice. And again, as a lot of you know, today wasn't the first time I saw Alice in the dress. Many of you have been fortunate enough to see the amazing photos we had done in Taiwan. For those that haven't, I'm sure we can show you a bit later. They're quite amazing. But yeah, when I saw you today, it was something very different and totally different feeling. And it's just very, 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 very beautiful. Thank you. I'm very happy today, and a big thank you to everyone involved. The staff here have been amazing, and there was you might have noticed I was a bit stressed beforehand. I kind of forgot something in the hotel. It was sorted. Thank you basically to the staff here. It got here in time, so all good. Big thank you to everyone, the photographers, it's been great, DJs, photorazzi people. If you haven't been up, go and grab a few photos. It's it'd be great. And most of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Okay, so I think it's all been said, but I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for coming tonight. First of all, to my parents, 千言万语只能说一声谢谢. And to my brother, who's also the MC tonight, great job. And congratulations to you on your upcoming wedding as well. To all my friends, my family, my new family, who have come from Brisbane, from Sydney, and here in Melbourne. I know that I wouldn't be standing here or be the person that I am without your friendships and support. And I feel very privileged that you are all here tonight. And I'm also very lucky that I was able to make so many new friends through John over the past 18 months or so. So, finally, a few words about John. Now, I spent the last week trying to come up with a word to sum up my new husband. I was tossing up between charming, intelligent, no. I think if I could sum up John in just one word, it would be useful. I found that I could always count on John in all situations. He could reach the stuff at the top of the cupboard without the need of a ladder. He's also very handy at home, especially with the electrical appliances, such as my dryer, which he broke. Then he fixed. Then he fixed it. He did fix it. He's also, as you've already heard, he's a great cook who keeps me very well fed, and I hold him solely responsible for my weight gain in the past year. And even my family has taken to him. My dog, Leo, is smitten with John because of the weekly doggy chinos that he makes for him. And even my dad has come to eventually appreciate having John in the family. They did have a rocky start. It did take a while for my dad to accept John. From the first time I took John back to Taiwan to meet my parents, their first impressions were made when this whitey strolled around my parents' house in socks with holes. My dad has to ask me in private whether I think John would become offended if he asked him to take him sock shopping. But the next time we went back to Taiwan, my dad found out just how useful John could be to have in the family. My dad had gotten a present from a friend. It was a box of Ferrero Rocher chocolates that he's been eyeing for about a week, but my mum had forbidden him to go near it. So one morning, my dad went up to John and offered him some chocolates. When John accepted, my dad thought that it might be rude not to join him, so he partook in the chocolates himself. Later that day, my mum found the half-eaten box of chocolate. Upon questioning, my dad looked very innocently at her and said, "John was hungry. He ate the chocolates." But in all seriousness, John, I want to thank you too tonight. You've brought so much into my life. I've gained so many new friends, a new family, and a new best friend. We don't always see eye to eye on everything. There's always going to be arguments, such as the constant battle we have about whether front-loading washing machine is better or top-loading washing machine is better. Top-loading is definitely better.
But it's not environment.
But we just have to agree to disagree on some things. There's always going to be hiccups along the way, but I can't wait. There'll be ups and downs, but the best is yet to come. So, now it's on to the social part of the night, and I thank everybody for coming, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.
Okay, we're done. So, yeah, I do love you. Okay, so let's start that again. I got all emotional in that speech. So, Let's try again. I'd like to welcome Alice and John in their first dance as a married couple. Would everyone join me in welcoming them? Thank you.
Have you ever wished upon a star and all your hopes seem so far? Well, here's a wish that will come true, and all these wishes are just for you. I wish I knew how to feel to be free, yes sirree. I wish I could break all of these chains, oh yes, that are really holding me. Wish I could say all the things I should say every day, and say them loud, say them clear, for the whole wide world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that I have in my heart today, and then move all the bars that keep the people in the world astray. I wish I could give all the joy that everybody could see. Then they know, yes, they know, and every man in this world should be free. Listen, I wish I could give all the love that I have in my heart right now today. I wish that I could help someone who is sadly somewhere going astray. And most of all, I wish I had the answer and the secret to peace. I'd give this to every leader of the world. And then I wish I had the secret of love, for I'd share this with every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl. Oh, I wish I could fly, fly like a bird up in the sky, and then wake up one morning to find out for myself, oh, you don't even have to die. Listen, I'd fly if I could fly, you see, to the sun and then down to the deep blue